Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cast and Risky Productions. Today I am going to be working on this old MTD Yard Machines that has been sitting for a few years. It's got 14 and a half brigs in it, which does turn over just fine. And gas tank is pretty clean actually. We might still try to clean it. There's some stuff in the bottom. It's got real nice mats on the floor here. It's got a deck on it. All the tires are actually inflated for once. And the seat's pretty decent. Just a couple cracks in it. Got the old battery. You might need to replace that. And everything seems to look good. It's got a key in it. Does nothing. So I think we're gonna get this thing into the shop and work on it. Okay, now that I got it in my shop, first thing I'm gonna do is remove the hood. Okay, I got the hood off, so now I'm going to take apart the air cleaner, see how that looks, and then we'll check for spark. Okay, I just got the air cleaner off now, and it did a extremely good job of keeping this carburetor clean. So also, since the gas was off, I think, we might not even need to do carburetor. We might have to, but first we're gonna get this thing running off of some starting fluid and see if the carburetor could do its job. So for now, I'm just going to reassemble the air cleaner and then take off the engine shroud. Okay, I got the shroud removed. So now what I think I'm gonna do is take off this other front cover because it is getting in the way. Now that I got the hood cover off, I can check for spark. Okay, I'm gonna take apart the contacts on this battery and clean them up and then try to hook it to the charger. This is why that you always clean up the terminals, because this is the negative terminal. This would have never made a connection. So let's clean that one up and that one up with a wire brush and we should be good. Okay, I cleaned the contacts up now. So now I think we're gonna put a battery pack to it and see if this battery will turn it over. Okay, I got the battery hooked up, so now we're gonna see if she turns. Okay, the battery is pretty weak, so I think what I'm gonna do right away, we'll have to put a new battery in this probably, but I'm gonna take out the spark plug and then check it with no compression, see if it can turn over with no compression good. And then check for spark also. Okay, I got the plug out. It doesn't look too bad, it's got some carbon on it. Okay, let's see if she turns over now. So, as you can see, we have plenty of spark, so we don't have to take anything else apart there. I'm just gonna re-tape up the coil, clean out the plug, clean a couple of other things, and then we can put the shrouds back on and see if this thing will run. Now I'm going to clean up the spark plug. Okay, spark plug is clean, so I'm gonna re-put the spark plug back in, and then we can put the cover on and see if this thing runs. One more thing I'm gonna do when everything is nice and open is clean out this tank because it's got some stuff in the bottom from this cap. I also removed this shroud that goes under the engine fins, just because what Brakes always does is they make ones that go around the engine fins, then everyone wonders why their mower overheats. And the engine fins are the cooling system of the engine. So if those aren't free, it's basically like putting cardboard in your radiator. It's not gonna work right. So we're gonna take this out and throw it in the dump. These are junk. Now I can start reassembling the shrouds. Now that I got all the shrouds back on, I think I am going to get a different battery for this. That way we can actually crank over. Because that ain't gonna cut it. Now I got the old battery out so we can put the new one in. And just like that, the new battery is in and we are now ready to try this thing. One last thing I'm gonna do before I try this thing is put gas in it. That way if it runs, hopefully the carburetor can clear up with some of that gas. Okay, I'm gonna switch to a different spark plug because I think the plug is fouled because it's having spark and it has gas, so it should have fired. Okay, this thing does run off of starting fluid, but it is clear that the carburetor is not happy. So I'm gonna have to go through the carburetor. Okay, I got the carburetor off now, so now I think I'm gonna rebuild it. Ooh. I can see why it was not running. Yeah, that is the worst bowl I've ever seen. So then I took apart the float, needle, and seat and tried to clean out the bowl of the carburetor. The towel was not working to clean the bowl out, so I eventually just took a horse brush to the carburetor and then I was able to get all the rust out. Okay, it has been a day and I finally got the bowl cleaned up. Okay, I'm just gonna let the bowl sit full of brake clean and I just put the float in there and needle and seat. So now I'm gonna move on to the top half of the carburetor. First, I'm just gonna clean all the dirt and corrosion off of the outside of the carburetor. So I grabbed a screwdriver and then I got to work. Okay, I got the outside of the carburetor cleaned up, so now I can move to the inside. Now that I have cleaned out all of these little holes in the carburetor, I'm going to reassemble the float, needle, and seat that are right now in the hole. Okay, so the seat just fits under the float and goes down, and the needle will just slide right in here. Okay, I got everything hooked back up, the needle in and the seat, and as you can hear, everything works as it should. So now I should be able to put the bowl back on. I got the pole on now, so now the carburetor can get reinstalled to the engine. I got everything reinstalled onto the engine now, so I think now I'm going to put the air cleaner on, put some gas in it, and try it again. Okay, I got gas in it now, and the carburetor seems to be fine, and everything seems to be good. So I'm going to take this outside and try to get it started. Okay, it's been a day and now I finally got the plywood on my workbench. So that is nice. And I also got my vise remounted. But anyway, back to the lawnmower. I think what I'm gonna try to do is put a new one of these electronic fuel shutoffs in, because I think that's where all of our issues are happening here. So I think we're just gonna put a new one in. Okay, I got the new one hooked up now, all hooked up. So I think now we should be ready to try this again. Also, something that I forgot about, which is pretty cool actually, when I drained the gas out of here, I put it in this thin plastic cup, and I was gonna put it right back in. Well, the gas disintegrated this cup instantly. The bottom of the cup is already out just due to the gas. Okay, I checked off camera with a wire tester to make sure that we had power to the fuel shut-off solenoid, which we do when the key is on, which is how it's supposed to be. So we're gonna have to take the carburetor back apart because it isn't sucking gas. So it's something in the carb still. Okay, I don't want to make you guys bored, but basically from this point on, it was just me taking back apart the carburetor and trying to figure out why it was not sucking gas. It probably was one of the jets in the carburetor, but I didn't know at the time. So eventually I just wound up putting a new carburetor on. Okay guys, it's been a while, and basically the only thing that hasn't worked with this mower is the throttle system. So right now the throttle on low and high, as you see, that spring does not do anything, and it's way stretched out. This is what the spring is supposed to look like. So I'm going to replace that spring, pop these bolts off, pop the control panel off, replace the spring, and then we should be good and have a completely finished job. Got the spring replaced. I don't know if you guys can see very well, but hopefully that should make the throttle work like it's supposed to. We'll see in a sec. Alrighty guys, this should be the moment of truth here. I did a bunch of fixing on it, so it'll all come down to this right here. And in case you guys are wondering, this thing does drive and mow very nice. Alright, I got the hood and everything on, so that should be all for this one. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. See you in the next one.